What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Quincypal Sports. And today we had a crazy day in college basketball. 3 top 5 teams went down, and it was a crazy day throughout. We're going to recap it all here and talk about what teams have emerged themselves as true title contenders. So, without any further ado, let's get started. We started in the good state of Kansas, and our old friends at Wichita State, 16th in the nation, hosting Houston, and they got ran off the court. Houston came in there, they're like, we're coming in here, and we're taking this W, and they just came in and completely outplayed Wichita State. It's either going to be Houston, Wichita State, or Memphis for the top team in the American. As for Texas Tech, they get the win 72-52 over Iowa State. This is still a great competitive Texas Tech team that could still probably make a run to the Sweet 16. I mean, they still play great defensive basketball, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with later in the Big 12. It was Illinois taking a win in Champaign 75-71 over Northwestern. I mean, this just shows the depth of the Big Ten. Every single team in this conference can hit you and hit you hard. Illinois is a very good team, and I think they could make a run in March, maybe in the Big Ten tournament, to help get them a better seed. Our last undefeated team, San Diego State, was in a struggle with Nevada in the first half and early into the second half. But then they just went on a huge, I think it was a 15-2 run, and completely pulled away. San Diego State is a team to be reckoned with. I mean, they don't have like one superstar, but they have a bunch of great players on that team. They share the ball, they pass well, they play good defense, and they got the win over Nevada today, and they are improved to 19-0 and are your last team still undefeated. A crazy game going down in Seattle, Washington, between the Ducks and the Huskies. Oregon was down big in the second half. It was, I think, about 15. They stormed back. Right before the half, they made a 3 to go into overtime. This is a crazy back-and-forth game, but near the end, Peyton Pritchard, with ice in his veins, drills a 3 as time expires to give Oregon a win on the road in Washington. This is a great game going into overtime. Both these teams are very good. I feel like Oregon has Elite 8 or Final 4 potential. It's just if they can harness it and pull it together. As for Arkansas and Kentucky, John Calipari actually got tossed, and Arkansas poised a huge comeback at the start of the second half. And I thought maybe this would be the time Arkansas gets it done, but I don't know what it was. But once Calipari got thrown out, Kentucky just flipped the switch, and they just started controlling the tempo of the game. Ashton Hagans is just a nuisance to deal with defensively. So Kentucky rolls and gets the win in that one. It was Florida State taking the win by 4 in overtime against Miami. I do think Florida State, that people are saying they're the best team in the ACC. I honestly think it's Louisville. We'll talk about Louisville in a bit. But as for Auburn, traveling to Gainesville, they got embarrassed. They did not look like the number 4 team in the nation to me. I mean, I don't know, something was off. Florida, it was a blackout game. They were all wearing black for some reason, I don't know. But, I mean, Florida, I feel like they could still be a legit contender. Kerry Blackshear, Andrew Nemhart are legit players for Florida. I mean, I don't know. It's just they're either on or they're off for both teams. And Florida was clearly on, and Auburn kind of got ran off the floor. So, kind of an embarrassing showing from Auburn there, but maybe they can turn it around next week. Speaking of getting absolutely embarrassed, I don't know what happened to West Virginia today. I mean, people say defense travels, and West Virginia is a defensively oriented team. Well, their defense did not travel to Manhattan, Kansas to play Kansas State. I mean, Kansas State just clearly ran them off the floor. And I don't even know if Kansas State's going to make the tournament. I mean, they're not looking like a great team. They're a good team, but not a great team. So I don't even know, but that was just a weird anomaly of a game for West Virginia. Kansas was in a battle with Texas throughout this game, but in Austin, Kansas just slowly pulled away at the end and just kind of wore out Texas near the end of the game. And that's how Kansas extends their Big 12 winning streak in that one. Maryland gets a win over Purdue, 57-50. Then 2 Pac-12 teams who I don't know if they're good or not, Arizona and Colorado. It was Arizona getting the win in this one. But, I mean, Colorado had that huge win over Dayton. They beat Oregon, but, I mean, they haven't really looked that great or dominant. And the same thing with Arizona. I mean, they lost to Gonzaga. And I don't know, both these teams just seem very inconsistent to me. I like Colorado more than I think I like Arizona, but maybe not after this game. These are 2 teams where I feel like they have potential to go to the Sweet 16, maybe even Elite 8. But they also feel like a team that could maybe get upset in the first round. But I don't know. Nico Mannion leads his team to victory today over Colorado. Now, as I was saying earlier, Louisville defeats Duke at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Crazy game here. I mean, Louisville got out to such a good start. I think it was 25-9 at one point, but they kind of fell apart. They completely let Duke back into the game, but David Johnson played very well in this game. Jordan Wara was held quiet, but McMahon and Enoch made up for that with plays, 2 fifth-year seniors, and Louisville ends up getting the win. I think they're the best team in the ACC, if you ask me. I really think they have the potential. If they start playing as a team, which they did today, and if they have their mind focused on the right place, this Louisville team is a force to be reckoned with. Also, Baylor gets the win over Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State had Baylor on the ropes the entire game. Oklahoma State had never trailed in this game until about 5 minutes left, where Baylor just put together a big run. And Oklahoma State just couldn't stop it towards the end. And that's how Baylor gets a win in Stillwater, number 2 team in the nation. Gonzaga's currently playing BYU. They're up 46-38 on BYU. I'm going to assume they hold on for this win. But if they were to somehow lose, Baylor would be your number 1 team in the nation. They are really good, the Baylor Bears. Seton Hall wins a crazy one at Madison Square Gardens against St. John's. This is a crazy game back and forth. St. John's was up by 12 with like 4 minutes to go, and Seton Hall just went beast mode. Miles Powell and Quincy McKnight were making some big plays down the stretch, and eventually just completely got Seton Hall back into this game enough to take the lead late, and they ended up getting the win. Crazy game down the stretch. The final 30 seconds of that game took like 10 minutes. And Villanova is going to get a win at the Pavilion against a pretty good UConn team. Back and forth throughout that one, but Villanova just pulls away late. Now, can someone please tell me what's gotten into Ohio State? What were they ranked? Number 2 at one point in the year? And they lost to Minnesota, and they lost to Penn State today, and who else did they lose to? I think they lost to Iowa or someone. They lost to Maryland. They've just been losing a ton of games in the Big Ten, and I think that just goes to show you how deep the Big Ten is this year. Such a great conference, and I really think that anyone can beat anyone besides Northwestern, because let's be real, pretty much every team is really good besides Northwestern. Sorry, Northwestern fans. But, I mean, anyone can beat anyone on any given day, especially, Big Ten teams on the road have just been terrible. I mean, no Big Ten team can win on the road. And lastly, Butler. I didn't really know how good they were. They were like 15-1, beating some cupcake teams, and they kind of choked a big game against Seton Hall at home, and they carried this negative momentum into Chicago against DePaul, where DePaul just completely took it to him in this game. And the Blue Demons, I'm telling you, DePaul, they're looking like a really good team. I mean, beat Texas Tech earlier in the year. They got some good wins under their belt. I mean, this is one of they started very well in Big East play. I expect DePaul to carry this momentum right to the NCAA tournament. I think that's where they will be at the end of the year. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you like this sort of college basketball recap. We're still waiting on the result of the BYU-Gonzaga game. Gonzaga's up by 10. I'm pretty sure they'll hang on for this win. But anyway, guys, hope you had a great day. NFC, AFC Championship streams coming tomorrow. And, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.